This is the brief on the Supreme Court's decision to gut the Voting Rights Act. The conservative supermajority's recent 6-3 ruling in the case Louisiana versus Calais has totally dismantled vital protections for minority voters, putting the very survival of America's multiracial democracy at severe risk. First, let's look at the real-world harm. Justice Samuel Alito's majority opinion effectively guts Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which basically gives states a huge green light to redraw district maps that entrench racial disenfranchisement. That triggers disastrous consequences for fair representation everywhere, from your local school boards all the way up to Congress. Second, you need to understand why the court isn't actually following the law here. The conservative supermajority relied on this historically distorted originalism, deliberately ignoring the actual factual history of the 14th and 15th Amendments. Imagine signing a binding contract, but then the judge just deliberately ignores the entire definitions page, just to force their preferred outcome. Well, that is exactly what the court did with our constitutional history. Finally, let's talk about the sheer gravity of these historical stakes, because they're massive. Janai Nelson, the president of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, who actually argued this case, warns that this is the absolute worst voting rights decision we've seen since the Jim Crow era. Ultimately, the Supreme Court has traded factual history for partisan mapping, leaving minority voters entirely defenseless against systemic voter suppression.